Okay students, today's lesson is going to be on an equipment inventory. So if you go into your Google Classroom, you're going to notice that I have the instructions here. I also have a Google Sheet for you here, and then of course you're already on your iPad watching this video as we go along. So what I did for you guys for this lesson to help you out a little bit is I set it up so you can click on equipment inventory, and it's either going to open up like this for you, or you're going to have to go up to there's three dots right about here, open in new window, and then you're going to have to click up here and go open with Google Sheets, okay? But either way, the way I have it set up, I did the first two columns for you. So what you're going to do is you're going to go up here and you're going to go to File and Make a Copy. And now where it says Copy Of, you're going to get rid of that and you're going to type your last name. Okay, actually no, type your first name. Type your first name, okay? So there is Brian Equipment Inventory in your Computer 8 folder, and I'm going to hit OK. And it's going to open up an entirely new tab for you right here, okay? Now, so what that means with that started out is you don't have to type quite as much, okay? So the way I have it set up is the first two columns I've typed, and I've made the columns wide enough for you, okay? So you can narrow it up a little bit or make it a little wider, but I have everything typed in there all the way down to the totals, and I have the headings here for you, okay? So if you look in the directions and you go down and you see everything that I've typed, you'll see that A and B are done for you, and what you guys are going to type is C, D, E, F, and G, which it isn't that much, okay? So I'm going to walk you through it, alright? So the first one in cell C2 here, okay, it wants the following sizes, and they're capital letters, so I'm just going to hit the caps lock key and do S, comma, M, comma, L, and I'm going to hit enter. Now it wants it in the next three down, so I'm going to use the autofill right here, just like this, and go right down there. And then in cell C6, it wants N/A. Whoops, forgot I have the caps lock key on, so N/A. Then it wants S, M, L, XL. It wants four of them there, okay? But the next two after that, it wants the S, M, and L. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click in the middle and highlight, and I'm going to right click and do copy, and then I'm going to right click right here and do paste. Saves me some typing. So now I'm in cell C10 and it wants NA. Okay, so I'm going to copy that up here again and I'm going to paste it right there. And it wants NA all the way down to cell C18. So I'm just going to autofill down right here and copy all them. See how fast that went? Right here it wants 6-12 and it wants me to hit enter, okay? Then the last three are NA, so I'm going to copy these top three, copy, and paste. See how fast I was able to do that? But I did notice it wants this 6-12 left align, so I'm going to go up here to more, and I'm going to find the horizontal align, and I'm going to choose the left, so it's on the left side. There, column C's done that fast. Vendor name wants the first one to be Momentum, comma, Incorporated, period. And I forgot the caps lock on, so I got to delete it all, turn the caps lock off, Momentum, comma, Incorporated, period. Okay? And it wants that for the next three down, so I'm going to autofill down three more because it's faster. Then it says Pro Tech Supply, and then Wheeling Clothing Company. Make sure to spell this stuff right and do it just like I'm doing it, okay? That way you get full points. Sports Caps Company. Okay, and if you need to pause the video because I'm typing faster than you, that's fine. Now the next two after that are the Pro Tech Supply. So I'm going to copy, and I'm going to right click here and I'm going to paste, and I'm going to right click here again and paste. Then the next two are Flying Boards Incorporated. So I hit enter and then I go back up and I autofill down one spot, okay? Then I have velocity, comma, incorporated with a period behind it, and that's 2 times down, so I'm going to autofill that down. Then it's top speed enterprises, okay? Then it's speed demon, and then it wants top speed enterprises for the next 2, so I'm going to copy and paste again, the next 2 down, okay? Then it wants Decker Industries, okay? Then it wants Ace Book, whoops, Ace Book is 2 words, Ace Book Company, Custom Decals Company. And then it wants it down again, so I'm going to click here and autofill down again, alright? So we know how to cut and copy and paste, so we can do all that and it saves us time. Now E, it has prices. So I'm going to use the number pad to the right on my keyboard and do 17.99, enter. And you go right down the list, okay? $21.99, $49.99, and you get fast learning how to use this number keypad, okay? It is faster than using the numbers up top. You just got to do it, okay? So once you're done getting all these numbers in there, like this, okay, you're going to have all that put in there for you, alright? Then you got a few more numbers to do in here, okay? But they're just whole numbers, so it's even faster. Remember, if you forget one, you can always cut, move the stuff down one line, and paste, okay? So you always got the cut and paste. Always remember that. Alright, I got one more to go, the units sold. There. I have them all typed in there. So now that I have it all typed in there, I got to go back in my instructions to step number 5, okay? Step 5. So it wants me to format cells A1 to I1, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight from A1 all the way over here, and it slides over, and you got to slide it some to I1. Notice how I stop at I1. I don't go here into J. Even though the wording is over there, I stop at I1, okay? And it tells me it wants me to bold. I'm going to center a line right here, so I'm going to pick the center option, and I need to wrap text. So if I hover right here where it says vertical align, the next one is called text wrapping. I'm going to click on it, and I want the middle one that says wrap. Now notice what happens up above here, okay? So I'm going to scroll back over, but notice what happens here. Everything's centered and bolded, and then wrap text means that it made this a lot nicer for the fit here, okay? So we got all the data keyed in, which is what step 6 tells us to do. So now number 7, center align cells A2 to A22. So I'm going to go down here and click right in the middle and go from A2 to A22, and I'm going to center. Then it says C2 to C22, I'm going to center those. So I'm going to do that too, okay? And then F2 to H23. So I'm going to move over some. F2 all the way to H. Even though H is blank, I'm going to go down and I'm going to go to H23. It wants those centered too, okay? Then it says step number 8, format cells E2 to E22 and I2 to I23 to currency. So here's a trick. If I click on the E up here and just hit the $sign, boom, it does it. If I click on the, so I'm going to get rid of this more here. If I click on the I right here, the whole row, and click on the money sign, it'll just do it once numbers are in there. So then it says enter a formula in cell H2. So I'm going to go right here to H2. And it wants us to compute the number of units in inventory at the beginning of the month for the first item. And it wants us to subtract from the number of units sold. So it wants us to say how much is left over. So on the keyboard, we'll hit the equals sign, which is right next to the backspace key. So I hit equals, and then if I click on F2 right here, and then I hit the minus sign, which is all the way in the upper right hand corner of the keyboard, and then I click on G2 right here, I have a formula. I hit enter, I can click on this, and I can autofill right down to right here at the end. And everything's done for me. All the formulas are in there, okay? Then it says enter a formula in cell I2 to compute the value of the inventory at the end of the month. Okay? So same thing. I'm going to hit the equal sign. So each of these pieces is $17.99, so I click on that. I hit the multiplication key, which is right next to the minus key on the keyboard, the little asterisk. And then I hit the inventory here at the end of the month. Hit the inventory here at the end of the month, and I have my formula. It's going to give me a dollar amount, and I'm going to autofill that all the way down. Okay? So I have all these numbers in there. Okay. So now we're going to go to F23, which is right here. F23. And we're going to enter a formula in cell F23 that totals the number of units of inventory at the beginning of the month. So we got to add all this up right here. So we're going to go up here to the More category. And right here where it says Functions, we're going to pick Sum. And then if I roll up with my wheel, I click right in the middle of these, and I go down right to the end, and I stop right at the 130. So that way in the Sum category it says F2 semicolon F22. Even though it's down here, it's going to put the answer right there for me. As I hit enter, there's the answer, okay? So it says use the autofill feature to copy the formulas in cells G23 to I23. Okay. So G23, we're going to go right over to I23 right there, okay? So now we have all the functions there. And it wants us to bold row 23. So I'm going to click over here on row 23 and click the bold, okay? Has a skip a few steps, and it wants me to carefully proofread. So I'm going to go back up. This is a big sheet. So I'm going to look at everything. I'm going to go back up. Can I read everything? I can read everything here, and there, and there. Okay, and I can read everything there. But one thing that I'm noticing as I look through this is that this here is centered and these aren't, and that doesn't look right. So I'm going to go up here to More, and I'm going to right align it so it's in line with everything else, okay? Now, I'm going to go back up. Can I read everything? The best way to make sure this column's wide enough is double click on it. It made it just a little bit wider so I can see everything. Okay, I'm going to scroll over. I'm going to do the same thing here, okay? So these columns fit nicely and they look good, okay? Then when I go to File and Print, alright, do you see how it's all on one page here? If it was a portrait, it wouldn't be, okay? So landscape makes it the best, and it's all on one page. So what you guys can do now is you can turn it in to Google Classroom, and you are done.